when we're talking to
All right.
Hello.
There.
Hello.
Sync.
I hear echo.
Yeah,
I
echo.
hear it.
Now you're echoing.
We've got echo.
No, you can't have echo.
Well, I've got echo. Deal with it.
No.
All these
All I
technical
do is turn
difficulties.
you down. All I do is turn you down. Now it's in sync, they're saying, so now you guys have the echo.
Okay.
And if I turn you down, then they can't hear you anymore, but you guys don't hear the echo.
Hello, 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 hello.
I don't hear echo now.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, but
No,
yeah.
echo.
now the volume is so low they can't hear you. Hold on.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Is it me you're looking for?
You sound just like Lionel Richie.
I can see it in your eyes.
Let me see if I can fix this here.
No echo. Oh. Hi, everybody, by the way.
Oh, echo, Kate. Jeez.
Echo.
Was Kate just echoing?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
Okay. I really need to hire an audio engineer. I've got way too much complex shit going on here.
The audience are saying that there's no echo.
Oh, you got, yeah, they don't hear an echo,
No,
do you
they're
guys?
not hearing the echo? Okay.
No.
If
And I
hear
don't
the
hear an
echoes.
echo anymore.
Now you're
Jet,
good.
red one, Jet.
Red one,
Jared.
Domo. Red one.
Red one, Delmo, red one.
Red one.
God damn it. God damn it, Jared.
Yeah. Okay. I'll turn you up a little bit. Tell me when you hear it echo.
Nope, no echo yet.
Echo? Echo?
Nope.
Echo?
Nope. Okay,
Echo.
we're good then?
Testing echo. We're good.
Good.
Okay, let's get started. God bless America. It's like herding cats. You know, this stuff.
Yes.
What would you herd cats for, though? mean,
Slaughter.
For what?
Eating mice.
Oh my god, you're a monster.
Well, it's
Cat
like
code.
herding all those Otises in the back of that vehicle you showed me.
Yes. Berserk, I got the same glass, but mine's filled with clear liquid, so it's obviously vodka.
Vodka.
Yeah, so hello everybody. Welcome to StarCast, the most
Hello.
technically difficult podcast on the verse. I do actually want to say there is a little bit of truth to that. I've seen a lot of other podcasts, or I've listened to quite a few other podcasts lately, and they're just audio podcasts, which I think if we just did audio, we would probably be not so difficult. But trying to live stream it and do all the video and everything like that, it does get a bit cranky from time to time.
Yeah.
And with so many people too, because there are other podcasts out there that do less people with video, and it doesn't seem to be as much of a problem.
Right.
Sir,
I just say
want to see your face.
I just
want to
say
see your
fuck it.
face.
And
in
the
the
less
podcast.
fun, too.
just go for it. Fuck it. We should have 20 people. Everybody
Do
trying
it.
to talk at once. Yeah. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. It's a vodcast. That's right. Berserker, your beer looks so much smaller back there. You should put it closer to the camera. It looks like you drink in a freaking mug. Muggo bear. All right.
Stop beer.
Tonight we have Kate. Welcome back, Kate.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me again. Yes.
Of course. And GioGetMoney, straight out of work.
Straight out of work.
Straight out of Compton.
That's right.
Cliffy,
Hello.
as usual. Bored Gamer.
Hello.
And Berserker. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing wonderful.
Wunderbar.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Echo. No echo.
Excellent.
No good.
Don't you say that. I will stop it. I will stop streaming. Forget it. It's not doing it.
Excellent.
We'll turn this stream around.
I'm actually a little tense tonight, I have to admit.
Are you?
Have more wine.
I'm a little tense. No, I was quite frustrated. I know Berserk was around earlier on, and when I was streaming a bit of Star Citizen, I was quite frustrated with it this evening because it's gone very buggy in free flight mode, and I couldn't land my frickin' ship.
She was receiving the Alpha Commander status. You know, if last night was, or if the last time she streamed was the honeymoon, this is the cold reality of Star Citizen right now, which is
Oh, man. Me, Bored, and Twerk, we were all trying to have fun streaming
No.
last week, and it was terrible.
It's hell.
Well,
I'm trying to play
hopefully,
today.
So
trying to play
take
today and
from
it
a
was
guy who
hell.
streams it almost every day. I have a command just on my channel for the frustration of Star Citizen.
hopefully this weekend when we do the stress test with the new PTU, that this is supposed to fix the matchmaking.
I tell you, Clifford, I'm
Yeah,
already stressed.
I
I'm
hope
already
so.
stressed with Star Citizen. We're having words, me and Star Citizen. Oh man, kicking me
Yeah,
out.
I've
You can't
tried.
Damn.
going with a friend. Brrr.
I
Anyway.
haven't tried. I just haven't. The closest thing I played all week that was because I'm still working on all the bot stuff, but that's something completely different. But so I haven't been streaming or playing much of anything this week.
You can quite stress your take on Mars. I remember that very well.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I sacrificed a chicken, and
It's always fun.
yeah, well, you know, it fixed things. It did fix things. So I'm better now. Clifford,
Okay.
we're gonna talk. Recommend that game to me.
I recommend a lot of games to people.
Yeah,
I would recommend the game too. I played the heck out of it. I streamed it too. I'm one of the few people who's streamed it more than once.
The main thing about recommending games is that, you know, there's always a risk that, you know, it's not going to be a game for everybody just because I think it's great and wonderful. You
true.
know,
That's absolutely true.
So, you know, and it's not necessarily that it's a bad game. It's just not a game for you. You know,
It might be a
not
game
Well,
for
it's
you,
just
but
the learning
let's-
curve. It's just the learning curve.
Yeah, that's just the learning curve. Yeah, Eve is a fantastic game. If you can get past the vertical wall, that is the learning curve.
And the games that have those massive learning curves are really fun once you work out the learning curve. Once
Yeah.
you work out the basics of it, you're like, this is really rewarding.
Right.
And a lot of people aren't going to get this reward because they're not going to get past the first 10 minutes.
Right, and then that's it. The barrier to entry. If it's too steep, you know, maybe over the other side is Nirvana or Shangri-La or something, right? You know, you get over that hill on the other side, it's beautiful. But getting over that hill, you see, the thing is, the difference is you can say, hey man, here's a game. It's called EVE Online. It's so much fun, right? And you just drop it in the guy's lap, and then you drop it, and then the guy gets in and be like, I hate this game. I can't figure anything out. Or you could say, here's EVE Online. Here is an encyclopedia that you must read before you can actually play it. And as long as the person knows ahead of time that the learning curve is that difficult or whatever, then they can jump right in and start playing and not.
The thing is, though, is that if you you watch someone like in a big Titan or a giant ship that's worth like $5,000, and you see, look at the amount of fun they're having. Now, is your spirit captured enough by that to want to work for a year to try and get something like that?
Possibly, but if you can't figure out how to get your ship launched out of the hangar, that ship that you're talking about that's somewhere out in space, that's like a party ship getting shot up.
Let's save this. Let's table this
Okay,
for
yes,
later.
let's
'cause I've
get
got a discussion
started.
about this.
Go ahead, Board Gamer. Let's talk about in the news tonight on Spectrum News. Go ahead, sir.
So we have some news which we'll probably talk about a little bit more later, because I know that Domo wants to talk about a couple of the things that I'm going to cover in the news in more detail, or at least how they reflect to him. And we've previously talked about this, but the Community Hub subscribers and concierge members have now been allowed into the Community Hub as well. So there's the 2,000 original stress testers, and now all concierge members and all subscribers. And basically, Community Hub, massive collection of YouTube videos, streams, podcasts, web pages, pictures, social media, and all dedicated Star Citizen stuff that you can possibly think of. Now, I know that myself and Domo have put up a load of our videos, but how about you guys? Have you guys put anything up?
Yes, I put my Thrustmaster hour video up that Geekdom doesn't like.
It's not an hour,
I
Clifford.
registered my live stream. Is the only thing I've done.
Nope,
So,
I haven't.
How are you guys going to use this? Are you going to be posting everything you do up on it, or are you going to be posting other people's content, or are you going to be just selecting, cherry picking, this is my best content and putting it up on that?
What I would do is, what my long-term plans is I want to start doing a lot of, like, since I buy a lot of their merchandise, I want to start doing unboxings of everything that I buy from them, whether it's mouse pads, caps, stuff like, because I don't see people ever doing much unboxings of their merchandise stuff.
Where you been, Cliffy?
Well, I never seen much yours. Most of yours I watch is about the ships that you get and stuff, because I like the details you go through on each one.
Cliffy's not a real fan of mine. F you.
Hey, I'm a real fan. I'm a real fan of your videos about your ships and stuff, because I like how you really.
I did the hat, the dog tags, the mouse pads. Where you been?
Let me ask you guys something real quick while we're still talking about this, because I'm looking around. Where are podcasts or where are live streams? I can't.
They're down below.
Further down.
They're further down from the
I
spotlight.
can't go much farther down.
Yeah.
Well, if you're in the hub, just go to the hub, the straight up hub,
hot?
not the hot. No, just go to community and then hub.
And then as you scroll down, the live Twitch streams or the little scrolling bar, usually you can scroll through those, and it'll have every live stream that's going on currently that is live. versus going just to the page itself.
Very pretty.
I haven't even looked at it yet, to be honest.
Yeah,
I'm probably going to check it out later.
There's staff picks and everything.
Do you think this is supposed to be as a platform to put all content on, or do you think it's supposed to be just select content?
I have a feeling that it's a all content, just because. Just speaking from my experience with other games, Kate can back me up on this with Frontier. But what Frontier did was something very similar. But they put their community hub specifically for their streamers on their front page.
Yeah.
And the top like 3 or 4 streamers that were streaming at the time would get on their front page. So
on Alpha, that's how I got a lot of viewers.
Yeah, it's basically a way to try to incentivize Twitch streamers and podcasts to start posting on their website or on posting content on the RSI site, because right now a lot of us, like, I don't even bother going to the RSI site to promote my stream. I know many people who are content creators who don't even bother going to the forums because they're so bad. Yeah. So this is just like a straight up content submission that everyone will be able to check out if they want to. That isn't going to be suffered from the whole like stigma, I guess it is, of trying to post content on a forum, to try to publicize on a forum. This is basically a giant bulletin board for everyone to put their shit that they want to see.
And you can only upvote, so you just push stuff up the top of the pile rather than pushing anything down, which is nice.
Thank God.
I know, that was my biggest thing. I kept bitching about it because I think early on they did show up and downvote, right? Didn't they show like some?
They originally had a section, I think, that was going to be called. It was basically like the Reddit, like a Reddit style, and I think that they removed it completely from the original plans.
Sounds good that they removed it.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
But anyone, when this is rolled out to the rest of us, which is anyone that's not concierge and not subscribers, that'll be very, very soon, probably like possibly today or tomorrow, but more likely to be Monday. Feel free to upvote any of our stuff, especially this podcast. Plug.
But no, okay, so let me. As long as we're talking about that real quick, there's nowhere to see the podcast. Like, so this podcast, I just put it up last night. I only have 4 episodes because I just started doing it again as an audio only, 4 episodes back, and so I put it up there, and it has like 9 upvotes or something. Well, if you go to the hot or the trending or whatever it is here, the let's see, staff picks,
Spotlight.
Yeah. It doesn't show podcasts at all, because if you go down the page to like you look for stuff that only has like 5, like say 4 upvotes, and mine's got 9.
The reason why it's done that is because right now, and INN did a big thing on this, is that the current community hub does not sort by upvotes. What it sorts by is staff picks. The only way that you can so all it would require like Disco Lando seeing that you posted StarCast and being like, I like StarCast, and he posted on there. And
it's an amazing Disco impression, by the way.
Yes. It sounded just like him.
Hi, I'm Disco Lando. Yeah, Jared. But it would require him to post it, to choose it. I think the way that they're going to choose them, though, is either by personal selection or by number of upvotes. So if it reaches a certain like threshold of upvotes, they'll put it on the staff picks, something like that.
And then also, I mean, the hub is still ever changing because he's still taking feedback too. He did post it on the forums that he is forever wanting feedback on it, what they could add, what could they take away to make it better. And what I see about people being able to post content is also about other space games out there. They're really, even Chris Roberts himself has been really adamant about promoting, like, one thing we're going to go into later on is like Everspace. He's very vocal in trying to promote other Kickstarter type space games that will add to the genre as a whole.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, so yeah, sounds good.
So we also have the issue council that will be available to all backers, every backer, and being a backer is something a little bit different, which we will talk about later. It's not all users, and that will be available early next week. And this is basically the bug reporting software. It's not just that, but they're going to post it up with a video kind of guideline so that you can get the best submissions, best practice for submissions, because they're worried that people are going to upvote and downvote things that they shouldn't, and people might get confused or be a bit dickish about it. The idea is that we can upvote stuff to make it more of a priority to be fixed or looked at. Have you guys ever reported anything in the forums bug-wise. Will you use this feature?
Back in the day, I did, but
yeah, back in the day. I mean, I still kind of do it. I'll use it all the time. I think it's going to be great, not necessarily for content creators. I think a lot of the guys who play Star Citizen the most, the guys who are in the top of the leaderboards and such, they talk about trying to report stuff all the time, and so they really, 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 really like this new slimmer, easier to use content or bug reporting system, just because it'll be a lot easier to just have to post on the forums, which really isn't natural.
My worry is that people don't use the bug reporting software enough. They don't report bugs because they go, someone else would have found that.
Right.
Well, the advantage of this one is that it actually is supposed to come with a search function, so you can actually find previous bugs that have been posted.
And you can upvote and add to them that you can repeat the bug, which is
exactly. So you can search for it if you found it. You search for it on the first, and you find the bug. You can upvote it saying, "Yeah, I saw this too," kind of thing.
And I think that kind of gives Tony and them a more of a bullseye on what they need to focus on the most if they start seeing like this massive wave of upvotes on this one bug, and then plus I guess it would make people want to report more, because then they're like, oh, I don't have to type this long description because this person already did it. I'll just have to click upvote and then go on down the road.
Yeah, exactly. I think hopefully that should be really useful for all of us in the long term.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But other than that, patch 1.2.1 is up on the PTU now. It's mainly a quality of life kind of hotfix update, so it's addressing clipping issues in the social module and providing like a variety of fixes to lots of other issues, just lots of problems that people have had. Also appears to have some balance changes that were hidden in it as well. Most notably, all of the weapons, not just Gatling weapons, now have weapon spread, decay, and loss of accuracy to some degree, which is really great because that will enable people to get used to their weapons and a higher level of skill being needed with some weapons than they are with others, and that will help balance some of the skill barrier. But also, a big warning to anyone that plays Vandal Swarm, it looks like all of the Vandal weapons have received quite big buffs. Great news for Scythe and Glaive owners too there, but there's the Vandal are going to be a lot more dangerous. Does anyone actually play Vandal Swarm? Because I love that mode. I absolutely adore it. I never see streamers playing it.
I do.
I tried today for a bit, but
I want to see streamers streaming more Vandal Swarm. I know it's repetitive because there's only so many millions of Vandal you can kill. I just really enjoy it. I really enjoy Vandal Swarm.
We can do it next week, BoredGamer.
We
have some more guys. We can have like a 4-man squad.
The problem with Star Citizen is getting in with a 4-man squad is a day's worth of work.
Yeah.
That is true.
Especially
that's why I don't play that much right now.
It's even worse if you live if you're living in the same country. It's difficult. If you're living across continents, it's almost impossible.
So is the PTU supposed to fix some of this board of what they said? I mean, that's why they're doing the stress test of the matchmaking system.
Yeah, so they're doing the stress test, but the PTU patch hasn't specifically outlined anything they're trying to fix, other than that they're trying to gather more bugs and more data with the stress test. Because there's a big patch stress test tomorrow, Sunday, 7 p.m. GMT, and they want everyone that can possibly turn up to come in, play an Arena Commander match, then play a social module for 10 minutes, and then go back to the hangar and play another AC match, and then report any bugs that they find. Massive stress test.
Please do it, and remember this is on the PTU, so please do it. It's very important for those of you guys who are watching. If you guys are watching this, I don't think Domo will be able to put this up fast enough so that it'll be...
But there is a massive barrier to entry to the PTU, because you have to re-download the whole game again.
And it's not like a 5 GB file. It's
and the updates for the PTU are normally, not always, they're quite small and more buggy than the alpha. So for some people, it's just too stressful. It's just like, no.
But if you have the ability to do so, please do it, just because it helps. It will help development. If they catch bugs or they catch issues in the PTU, then it'll be often they'll fix it right before they actually release it to live. So
that separates a lot of backers from each other. The people that are wanting to get really involved with the development by helping any way they can, by reporting bugs, by joining the stress tests if they can.
They need to do that live though, because like I said, a lot of people don't want to download that extra PTU. They should just do it on the live one and then get as many people as they can, like they did on the Glaive contest. I mean, we broke it that night for sure. Everything was going crazy. So I think they just need to do it live, if you ask me.
Yeah, they have done it live, but the PTU is another, just makes it easier for them.
Data.
Yeah, to grab data. It's all about that metadata, that sweet metadata.
To be honest, I think PTU is really stupid. To be honest, I mean, it's already an alpha, so it's like a pre-alpha to the alpha. I mean, they just drop it live.
No, I mean, the eventual goal of it is, which I really think is really cool, is the large world map that they are going to be using for Arena Commander 2.0. That will eventually be just the PTU. The PTU would just be that, and it'll be things like mission concepts or specific ships or specific ways that you interact with the universe, and it won't be the whole game. It'll just be these small chunks that they'll let people play and try out so that they can test it. So it'll be more of an actual testing ground rather than just like the game, but not the next patch that's just not released yet.
All right.
But yes, so other than that, we're going to move on to something slightly less Star Citizen-y now. The Everspace Kickstarter. So not entirely Star Citizen related, but Chris Roberts, as we mentioned earlier, did post about it on the RSI website and was very much into the idea of it. It was fully funded on the 11th of September, so yesterday, and it raised 420,000 euros. Yeah. I was misreading that figure, which is about 200,000 more euros than they wanted. And this space game in the Unreal 4 engine, which is basically a roguelike, looks absolutely amazing. It's a big dogfighting game. I take it. Has everyone backed it?
Yeah, I got
it.
Unfortunately, I forgot, but if they have like a website I could go, I would definitely go.
Yeah, they said you want to. If you go to the Kickstarter page, it has a tab there. It says if you want to continue supporting us, click it.
But it's slightly more expensive. Slightly more expensive, Gio.
Well, I'll pay it because, like I said, I love these space games, and it reminds me of Star Wars Rogue Squadron. If you guys remember those games,
oh
it
yes,
gives me that type of feel. So I'm definitely supporting that game.
And what was good is that it was only like, I think, to really get what you wanted out of it, it's like $53. It wasn't really that expensive.
But if you look at this though, you can see that the Unreal 4 engine, how good it is for space games, and I do think it's a little bit of a shame, although I do think the CryEngine is amazing, it's a little bit of a shame that Star Citizen wasn't pitched a little bit later with the Unreal 4 engine available.
Yeah, you gotta cut your losses or whatever. Hold on a second, I gotta turn this down.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, I was gonna play a video, but it's like super loud. Hold on.
We will see. I'm sure that whatever they're calling it the Star Engine now, whatever the CryEngine has become for Star Citizen, I'm sure it's going to be amazing. Don't get me wrong, and I love the fact that Half-Life and Call of Duty and stuff all started with basically the Quake 3 engine that got modded. So we might get an amazing engine out of Star Citizen. But anyway, that's enough of me ranting about that. So in other news, there's a big slab of rock with alien writing on it available for subscribers, the new subscriber flare. If you're into big slabs of rock, that's going to be available in your hangar now if you're a subscriber. And if you subscribe over the weekend, then it'll be available on Tuesday on your hangar. For anyone wondering about the Endeavour, there's still no hard date for the concept sale, unfortunately, but I would expect in about 2 weeks, in a couple of weeks' time. And for me, this is news. It's a month to CitizenCon, exactly a month. And this time next month, I'm going to be drunk in a bar in Manchester, hopefully with Chris Roberts, and I'm just extremely hyped with that. And I've got my very
I'm so jealous.
Costume. I've got a ghetto costume that I'm literally making out of stuff that's in my room.
Nice.
You just happen to have a body armor in your room?
Yeah, it's bike armor.
Okay.
I happen to have.
Hey, just dressing up is a lot of fun. It really is.
I know, right? Every weekend I dress up as a little girl. Anyway, that's the end of my bit.
On that bombshell.
To someone else.
Speaking of dates, in 2 weeks is our 2-year anniversary for StarCast.
Woo!
Yay.
We started September 25th, 2013 was our first show. And so I'm going to try to get some of the old guys back. Hopefully I can. I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot of drama. And then just some people just disappeared off the face of the earth. But we'll see.
If they'll come, we'll do a giveaway or something.
Yeah. Absolutely. We'll do something. Speaking of giveaways, I'm going to give away that other. I got a copy of that subscriber flare. So what's the thing called? Like a megalith thing?
A big slab of alien rock, it's called.
We're going to give away a big slab of alien rock for your hangar tonight as a giveaway.
I get rock for Star Citizen, all right.
Wow. Wow.
Good old space rock.
Clifford's here. He gets offended by that.
Yeah, you got to bother Cliffy.
What?
All right. So moving on there. Next thing we're going to talk about is science. With Kate.
And real space this time. Not made up space, pretend space.
What you it's not pretend. It's not pretend. It exists in the mind of Chris Roberts.
Christ Roberts is a religion.
But yeah, no, the Russian Soyuz landed a couple of days ago, I think it was, bringing back the most experienced astronaut alive today, and also the first Danish astronaut and another rookie. So 2 rookies who went up and spent 10 days in orbit and experienced for the first time, no doubt, the overview effect, which is that kind of the change in cognitive kind of acceptance of your place in the universe that you can't help but when you look back at planet Earth, which is essentially just this sort of small fragile thing hanging in the big black void. It changes people's outlook on life and perception. It's something that you can't unsee. So yeah, and hopefully we will all, the next bit of segueing nicely into the fact that the next Kickstarter we're going to chat about is the, have you got a link to it anymore? I think I might have closed that down.
Yep.
So the Kickstarter basically for the to put a VR experience camera on the International Space Station, so we can all put on an Oculus Rift or even the cardboard VR viewers will be able to view it, and you can actually look back live at Earth in sort of virtual reality. It's interesting though, because they're really pushing that Kickstarter on the basis that that they want people to have that transformative experience. It's not just this would be really cool, let's put a 360-degree camera on the International Space Station. They're kind of coming at it from the perspective of this will change humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why will it change humanity? Let me just...
Because of the overview effect.
The overview effect, basically, it's quite a well-known phenomenon that astronauts who go and look back on Earth, it kind of just gives you this kind of like fundamental shift in the way you view your place in the world.
Is it significantly different from a virtual experience of that? What I'm saying is that we've played a lot of games. I've been very immersed in games before where similar things have happened. You see yourself as a very small entity getting totally destroyed by everything else, or you see planets, you see Earth in the same way you described. Obviously, it's not real. It is virtual. But you're effectively getting a virtual experience anyway if you put a camera in there anyway. So
it's different from saying, like, say, 2D experience to the 2D experience on a screen.
Where an Oculus on a screen?
It's Oculus is a screen, but it's still a little bit more. It's the reason why. VR sickness happens a lot. Is that it's so realistic. But it's not quite real enough.
Yeah. Uncanny Valley kind of stuff.
Yeah. So it's your perception is there. So they're hoping that it does the same thing. And the overview effect specifically is one of those things like you look at the Earth without borders because you don't see artificial borders. You don't see. All you do is see the Earth. And so it's hard to not look at space or your like humanity as a whole and the planet as a whole after you've experienced that, because there's literally all the stuff that you put in your brain, the politics and borders and military and everything else that you kind of think about starts breaking down once you see that there's literally just artificial. All that stuff is artificial compared to what's actually out there.
That's where Carl Sagan's pale blue dot comes from. That sort of.
And I think the VR experience is one thing that's key on that is not only just the screen, but them enclosing your ears and you being able to, with this VR camera that they're going to put up there, you'll hear all the creakings and the sounds of the International Space Station and hear what it's like to be in the void of the vacuum. Basically nothing there. You're all alone. All is you is this fragile station that's could get hit by rocks, flying thousands of miles an hour that they know that they always are calculating and watching out for, and that it kind of put in perspective what these astronauts risk day by day. Not only the risk of outer space, but also radiation, constant radiation that they get. Just like that that one astronaut's brother that's up there, they're twins, and they're trying to see what the effects is compared to his twin brother on Earth and him in space, to see how their bodies react for the long haul. Because what really interests me about the project was also when they go to Mars, like using one of these cameras that you actually get to be on the first voyage with the astronauts going to Mars, which is really, really interesting.
Just got to clarify that these are all going to be pre-recorded VR segments, so they're going to move the camera around from the cupola, to like the loading area, the docks. They're going to move around.
So it's going to be like on rails, right?
Yeah. Well, not typically on rails.
Like
You'll be able to move your head around and look at everything. It's just going to be like a seamless video that they're doing, but they have to pay for it to get up there. So it costs $100,000 to get anything that size up on the station. Mm-hmm. So
my one question is that I know often they'll use like controllers or something like that to be able to move around. Will you be weightless in this as well? Will your character be moving around weightless as you watch the through your VR? Because it'd be a little jarring to just kind of be like walking around on the space station when it's actually supposed to be a weightless environment.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm looking at the camera equipment. I think it seems to be a fixed. It's a big block of a thing, and it's kind of like, it seems to be. I would imagine it will be just fixed shots, and you won't actually be moving around. That they will probably fix the camera there and then do some filming with it.
Because I could see them it being weightlessness. I mean, all they have to do is make sure the hallway is cleared on the station. Take the camera and then push it forward and just let it slowly glide like that, and then film that from all directions. And then
that's not a VR experience because you're not controlling your movement properly.
I'm pretty sure they'll do some back-end wizardry.
It's a 3D. It's
again, that's virtual.
360-degree camera, so you'll be able to move around. But you can imagine that if you were actually controlling that camera, how much time it would take to get a spot to do that.
Well, that's part of what the camera itself. I've seen pictures of it. It's got lenses on all sides, and so the idea is that it captures the environment as it is, and then a programmer can program in a camera that you control. It's you that you kind of look around, and you may be able to control the camera, but the camera itself that's in there captures everything at the same time.
Right.
So if you move your head left or right, you're still seeing the same things because they were all captured at the same time. So So I don't know exactly how it's going to work, but they already do that with several of the VR experiences where they have a specialized camera that'll capture everything. In the
VR experiences, Berserker. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
All right, let's move it on. What else we got? Next thing is the... we never did talk about Ben. Yeah. So
that was in Citizen Gossip.
Citizen Gossip. Let's go ahead and start talking about that then.
All right. So I got two things for Citizen Gossip. First of all, I know no one here has been banned on the forums, but there has often been a complaint between Reddit and the official forums about the moderators on either side being too harsh or whatever. And especially on the forums, there's plenty of people who have been banned who've been complaining about being banned, I'm just an innocent bystander and I just had one opinion and all of a sudden I got banned because the mods suck, so on and so forth. So Ben had enough of one poster, and he was posting on Reddit complaining about his ban, and Ben asked for permission to show everybody why he was banned. The user gave him the permission, and Ben then proceeded to make a 2 Reddit post long post.
Maximum post size.
Maximum post size of every single comment that this guy made that got him banned.
So nice.
Yeah, it was.
The Bam Hammer is real.
Glorious.
And
he was doing some nasty stuff. It's still on Reddit. You can still find it.
It was the amount of detail that Ben goes into, though, and how because Ben basically explains all the reasons very, very essay-like he's writing the exam, and then finishes with a beautiful last sentence conclusion, which is, now it's assumed by most other users who bother to post that when Joda posts something, he's trolling. And that's how he ends it. Boom. And I just like, what amazing explanation, gone really into detail, and obviously because he doesn't want other trolls to appear. And
this is beautiful. No, this is really well done.
About it is that there are two different types of posters. There are the posters who are legitimate, who have a problem, and then there are the trolls. And the people who are legitimate and you get banned because of misconceptions or something like that. That's
fine, isn't it? That's fine for them to get banned for a week because they've said something wrong, and they go, "You said something wrong. This is your punishment. You're banned for a week." Great, yeah, I learned.
Some people will get banned for saying something that they didn't think they should get banned for, that it wasn't specifically stated in the rules, and the mods just kind of did what they wanted to. And they make mistakes. Mods are human. It happens. But then it makes it more legitimate. It makes these trolls more legitimate because all of a sudden these guys start coming out and saying, "Oh yeah, well I got banned because of this and that and the other thing." And so this consensus starts building because the mistakes happen. People who've been accidentally banned or been banned for illegitimate reasons, and then people who've been banned for legitimate reasons both think that they've been banned for illegitimate reasons, and so it creates this perception that happens. In fact, Ben went so far as that a well-known user who posts on Reddit, Stupid Question Bot, also known as RT Moose, who had been banned for almost 2 years now on the forums, had been given another shot by Ben and was unbanned, so he could post on the forums again once more. So not only did he lay the smackdown on one user who was trolling, essentially, on the forums, but he also gave another user who had been chronically banned another shot at coming back. So that's just kind of stand-up guy.
Stupid Question Bot had actually been really contributing to Reddit, from what I've seen anyway.
And to be fair, he was very, very angry and very confrontational when he first started posting on Reddit, but he is... As a human being and as a poster, he has learned a lot of restraint.
He's grown as a person.
He's grown. So he's no longer just telling new users that they're idiots on Reddit. Now he's
explaining why.
Yeah, explaining why in a civil way, sort of. But it's cool news. And also in the citizen gossip, the last thing we're going to talk about real quickly is the. There was a post on again on Reddit about a new user's experience with the game, and he was very polite, and he explained that he had no idea what to do when he popped into the game. Now, he didn't do a lot of research, but he brought up a good point, and there's a lot of discussion on this about what is required for a game, like how much hand-holding should the game do, and how much should it just be intuitive? That design. Because right now, popping into Star Citizen, being told, "Oh yeah, you can be able to fly around and be a trader or a mercenary or a pirate." They get into their hangar and there's no way. They get into their ship and there's no interface. Nothing pops up. There's nothing that tells them that that's not possible yet, or even tells them how to access Arena Commander. So
yeah, but this is an important thing, though, isn't it? Because effectively, the alpha is like a developer's kit. It's not for consumers. It's for people that actively want to be part of development, and that means you need to do research. And we touched on this earlier. There's a massive learning curve to alpha games and alpha modules and stuff that haven't got those tutorials built in. It doesn't even signpost you to the tutorial in game. That's how alpha it is. So you'd have to watch someone's videos, some charming gentleman like Gio. What's some of Gio's videos to learn how to play the game or something like that. But if you don't know where to look for them, yeah, you're totally right. There's no way that the game's not signposted at all. And with a tiny bit of signposting, it could probably make a lot more users a lot happier.
Yeah, but it's a chronic problem especially with a lot of alpha games, that this is the case. And in some cases, it's even overdone. That the signposting, sometimes there's too much signposting. So Star Citizen definitely needs to hit that mark somewhere between, because they've talked about being very intuitive, and I'd say the social module is very intuitive. It's to get to the social module, it actually rewards players for exploring.
Well, hold on a second. We have somebody here who is very brand new with Star Citizen, and I'd like to get her opinion on it. How do you feel like having played the game just from scratch? Your first impressions.
You know, it's the biggest frustration for me is the fact that I can't use. I haven't yet found a way to set up my HOTAS to work sensibly in combat, and I think that's more down to me not having had the time to do that, because lots of people have been saying to me that it's possible. But it's hard, it's challenging, but I really like that about it, because if it was easy, then I would be bored of it in 5 minutes, because the challenge would be over. I remember when I first started streaming Elite Dangerous at Christmas, and some kids came on and they were like, oh, you're really crap, you're a noob. I'm like, well, yeah, I've been playing it for 3 days.
I'm literally the definition of a noob. What's your issue?
Elite, as a matter of fact, Elite had a nice learning curve when I try to play and learn the trading in the maps, and I like that. It didn't just sit there and hold your hand. You actually had to learn that in Elite.
Yeah. As you say, and Elite is a good example, because it was a good timed ratio. Only after a couple of hours you kind of figured the basics out, and it took maybe a day or two to actually understand how you expand beyond your little bubble of systems and so on and so forth. So it had that nice tiered learning curve where you slowly walked your way up.
For Star Citizen, as long as there is the basic, you spawn into the world, these are the basics, this is where you get missions, this is how you fly your ship, this is how you buy new ships, bam, start you off on a couple of missions, your mate needs some bounty hunting done, or your mate needs some ships killed, and then go, there's all this other stuff to do, and then signpost you to beginner missions on everything else. That's all I want. That is pretty much it. Well, the rest I want to be really find out myself.
Yeah, because if you think about it, like the advanced stuff, and like you look at the E-War post, you got your basic stuff, and then you got the more advanced stuff with the E-War, where someone has to be really advanced to know what they're doing, and that's what people are going to be paying for your services. Say you're like the best electronic warfare guy out there, and hey, look, I want to go get Board Gamer. He's the best guy for that job, so let me go get him. So that's going to be the difference. Like, keep the basic, but the real advanced stuff, you want to keep that like real hard to do, because there are going to be people who are going to get paid for those services.
Well, Kate, you're rarely lucky getting in when you are now, because I remember when I first got my Thrustmaster HOTAS and I did everything, you had to literally load up your own XML files. You had to use different separate programs to map your own stuff. I mean, it has, people say that it is difficult now, but it was way more difficult.
I still can't do it, Clifford.
Beginning.
I still can't do it.
And, as it sits now, is what I look at is when Chris says, I think the pinnacle of what you're looking for is when Squadron 42, because he always mentions Squadron 42 as the gateway into the persistent universe, meaning when you play that single-player episodic campaign, that's going to be really where people will be like getting into the first time, and it holds your hand through the first couple missions, and you really get a real feel of what this universe is going to have to offer people.
Still, though, you're gonna need to have something in the persistent universe similar to that. You're gonna have to have a small version, because you can't assume that everyone's gonna play Squadron 42.
Right.
Yeah, that is correct.
This would be where I'd like to come in and explain my situation that just happened recently. But Clifford the other day recommended what was it? Take on Mars.
Take on Mars.
Now this has nothing to do with Star Citizen, but it does in a way.
I love this story.
It's so I started playing Take on Mars, and I was not enthused right off the bat, because I got into it, and Clifford had been playing it, and I saw I went and watched a couple minutes of his play that he did on Twitch, and then I went and watched some videos before I purchased it, and I was like, okay, this looks great. I'm gonna hop in. It's gonna be like Empyrean, and just jump in and play and build things on Mars and run around and do all that exploration and stuff like that. I realized it was a Bohemian Interactive game, which does come with its own sort of issues, but yeah. So I got into the game, and it just dropped me into the control room and didn't give me any kind of information on how to go any farther or anything like that. And so then I finally figured out after an hour and a half that I could open up some scenarios, and they already put me on Mars, and I had to find my way to a truck and sort of get rescued and things. And that was cool once I got that part going. But the learning curve was pretty steep, and I didn't realize that at the time. So I know this is a terrible probably an example, but there's a game most people have heard of, at least, maybe have not played it, but it's called World of Warcraft, right? Now, World of Warcraft, in the very beginning, will take and hold your hand for like the first 10 levels. I mean, it's like really holding your hand. Like, okay, now run to the right and pick this up and then kill this little pig and take its corpse over to the thing.
No, kill this little pig? No, kill 10,000 of these little pigs.
Kill 10,000 little pigs.
Only 2 of them drop eyeballs.
Right. They only, yeah, every pig you kill, you accidentally pop their eyeballs. And yeah, so so you have to collect all these little pig eyeballs and take them over and drop them off. But at least it has a little countdown timer that says this is how many eyeballs you've collected, and this is the area. It shows you on your map a little area of this is the only place you'll find these pigs, right? So it's very, very hand-holding. And I'm not saying that Star Citizen needs to go to that level, of course, but they should always assume the lowest common denominator, like me. And once they've figured out that El Morano is playing, then that's how they build the game's interface to begin with, and then it goes from there. And then once you've given somebody, like, 10 minutes to an hour of that sort of hand-holdy stuff, then let them go. That's, I think, most people want. Is
I
not
see
to be...
that you're gullible and bad at flying. Would you like to do trade? Go through pirate space.
Yes. And suddenly cat.
Interloper. Sorry.
That's all right. That's fine. But anyway,
but
go ahead.
I agree. There's actually a lot of discussion about this kind of. This is actually a gaming topic that developers talk about all the time, about how do you tier in users. Do you want to just kind of like throw them in the world and say good luck? Do you need to like have some sort of build in? It's a hotly discussed topic, and it's been brought up in Star Citizen before. But I agree. We need something that a little bit of like. Let me take your hand. Let's go over here. Now let's go over here. Now let's get your stuff ready. Okay. Now here's your lunch, and I'm gonna get this smudge off your face, and good luck at school, kid. Kind of thing.
Well, and you talk about the interaction. I mean, because they got that little tutorial. Like I watched Kate when I was watching her stream. She go through it, but they don't have. I would love to see where they have an active mouse showing you how to bind your keys on the actual interface. For your hostess, if they don't have any, walkthrough or video tutorial of that, and that I think would be invaluable to a lot of
players. That's our job. That's our job as content providers.
That's the fan content creators will come out in their droves. Once because the other thing as well is we've got to remember we're not talking about a game here at the moment. We're talking about several tech demo modules of something which is going to be huge.
It's on the verge of being a game. Hopefully by the end of the year it'll be a game of some sort, but it's not quite there yet.
In some ways, I'd be a little bit miffed if they piled a load of time and effort into making a nice pretty narrative when I can't even get out of my fucking spaceship for my head getting stuck in the gearbox.
Like I said, stuff like that is going to be sorted out, but like I said, like gameplay wise, I don't like games where they hold your hand too much in the tutorials. Like a lot of these games are just way too noob friendly. Like they just go to the noob crowd and just forget the hard.
No. Lowest common denominator, Gio.
But what you think about back in the day, you guys think about it.
Noob. Yes.
Well, yes, but back in the day, games did not hold your hands like
no.
now.
But what they could do is just have a okay, I'm a pro at this. Let me skip. I mean, I always should allow you to skip.
No. Pros shouldn't be able to do that because pros always miss out some vital information.
Right, and they can't play, and then they go, "This game sucks" because they didn't do the tutorial.
Like for instance, I've been playing Star Citizen for almost a year now. I'll be like almost every day for almost a year now, routinely. And up until the tutorial came out, I had no idea there was a reverse mode camera. I had no idea I could see the camera behind. I'd seen people use it. I didn't know the button. I didn't know the layout. And I'd been, getting on the leaderboards and getting up there in ranks and stuff like that. And I still had no idea that it even existed. So tutorials do, in fact, sometimes will help. Like, oh, damn, I didn't even know that thing even was a thing.
If any game is going to find the sweet spot, it's going to be Star Citizen with the hand-holding to not hand-holding, because it's in such open development, and everyone's going to have chuck in their 2 cents. So hopefully, with enough 2 cents, we'll have $2 million just to be put onto that.
All right, guys, we're almost out of time here. I guess we can try to get a question answered. Zuke just asked one, but when you did figure it out, didn't you have the sense of achievement? Oh, absolutely. But then it actually comes from my career, which is streaming, right? So having a non-easy to easy access to entry game like Eve is not something you want to stream when you haven't played it before. because you're going to get beat up pretty badly by the people in the audience who played it every single day for the past 25 years.
You ran out of air.
I did. I was just up talking, that's all. All right, let's see. Can we do a real quick question or so from the list? You want to ask him there, Cliffy? You got the page open?
Yeah, I got the page open.
Okay.
Let me bring it down here. All right. Let's see.
If we don't get them all, we can get them on Aftercast, too, if there's
Where was that monitor? Where was that monitor you were looking at, Clifford? Because that was...
it's one of his 17 monitors he's got.
Yeah, I got 3 27-inch monitors above my 40-inch up there.
Of course you do.
Jesus Christ.
Because penis.
But I can't help it. I'm an oil baron, okay?
Holy Christ Roberts.
Let's see here. We have one question on here for today. Let's see here. It's from Warwag.
Okay, Warwag.
Do you think cooks be a job in game?
No.
I plan on running a taco truck in the PU.
Yeah, I would love to have a space. I used to have a food truck years ago. I'd love to have a space.
I think there may be manufactured goods though that you can trade.
Yeah.
But being a cook as a skill, no.
Why not?
Having cooked goods,
because they're so obsessed with skill based, like you have to be good at it, that anything that requires like a skill tree, they won't even touch. Like
it's so delicious.
You might be able to make yourself some Xeon tacos or whatever in like a microwave.
Did you kill the Xeon to get the meat?
Exactly.
Oh.
But you don't know. But that might be. That's not.
No, you see, well, you guys probably don't like that kind of stuff. I'm a space trucker, right? And a lot of you guys don't even understand that.
No, that's awesome.
I do.
I would love having. I would love to have,
like
and this is a nod to Kate here. I would love to have a restaurant at the end of the universe, right? And I completely set it all up. I've got Zappa Bebop serving Pan-Galactic Gargle Blasters over in the corner. I mean, I'm serious. Like you could do all that really fun stuff.
They've already got half of that functionality there with the Genesis Starliners.
I was just about to say that.
You basically want a station that's a Genesis Starliner that people can come out there and you entertain them with alcohol and food and stuff. But there's not. They might change it. I mean, it's all in alpha. It all could get changed. Everything. There's not going to be any particular role. It is now you cook. You cook on your ship. Oh, you've got this cooking mini game. I mean. I might have to eat my words, but I very much doubt the cooking.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to have a vendor simulator from...
all they've said that, food might bring you just a small buff, if anything, of like just a little bit of stamina or make you more alert and buff if you make you a cup of coffee or something on the ship.
Mages can make it. No, that's World of Warcraft. No, God.
Yeah, they can summon it.
But I mean, honestly, it's like they already have something similar in terms of like tweaking. They've got the tweaking mechanic that they're working on.
Don't do that hand signal on stream. Just as a no, none of that.
But I mean, even then, Chris said there's stuff in his brain that he said that he wants to do way down the road, and who says that if enough people want it later on down the road, like after the game's done and finished, it could be popped in.
As I saed, I don't think it's going to be there for release. It could come in later, but it's one of those like small little cool details that would require so much time and effort that it's just not worth it.
Iron Citizen. There's a cooking competition.
Iron Citizen.
Hell yeah.
Iron Citizen.
And Chris Roberts could be
the
Oh no.
He could be the okay. Helmer 1134 has won a big shiny rock.
Yay! Congratulations!
Congratulations, Helmer. You got to do is send me a message here on Twitch with your Robert Space Industries email address, your Star Citizen email address, please, and I will send you big shiny rock.
Huh.
Big shiny rock.
Does
it take up a whole parking space in your hangar?
No, it takes up a tube.
Yeah, it's a tube, probably.
I'm not sure I'm doing that, but because it's not that size, it's more like that size. But
it's a large tube. Yay, shiny rock. All right, everybody, let's go around the room real quick. Unfortunately, we're having Aftercast right after this, but unfortunately, Kate can't.
Unfortunately,
can't come. Yeah, unfortunately, we're having Aftercast, and you guys are not free to go.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to love you and leave you this time because a friend of mine is doing a Marie Curie cancer research fundraiser, and I am playing a role-playing game next.
Where is that? Where can people watch that?
Celizen is over on HD Celizen, I believe, is his channel is on Twitch.
post it in the chat in a minute, Kate, because some of us will come and join you after.
Don't post it because she's not a subscriber. So time around. Just post it in the chat so that Domo or Miku can post it or something like that.
That's a perfect idea.
Will do. I will do.
All right. Okay, we're going to go around the room here. Gio, where can people watch you at, man?
Man, let me see. YouTube, catch me on Twitter, Instagram. That's pretty much it. I want to get on Twitch, but I'm going to talk to you guys afterwards about that stuff to help me out.
You're not on Twitch yet?
Yep, that's it. That's about it, though.
Listen, man, congratulations winning I Am Star Citizen contest.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That Aegis
Do the post,
that Aegis sponsorship actually finally pulled through, huh?
I told you we were sponsored by Vanguard. I told you.
Yeah.
There we go. Aegis, my favorite ship maker. There you go.
There you go.
Here's the link for Kate.
Thank you so much, there, Cliffy.
Yep, got it.
Cliffy, tell us where people can follow you and.
You can follow me on Twitter at Clifford_Miku, or you can find me on Twitch, Clifford_AKA_Miku, and on YouTube, Clifford at, _Miku.
Okay.
Everywhere.
Very good. And BoredGamerUK, go.
BoredGamerUK on Twitch and YouTube's and the website with the same name. But yeah, YouTube's the best place to find us, or me. And on the Community Hub as well now. I'll be posting all of my things that I think are reasonable to post up there, which will be everything up on there. So feel free to upvote that as well, guys.
Yes, please upvotes. Everywhere upvotes.
All of us, everyone on this panel.
Last but not least, Mr. Berserker.
Hi, I'm Berserker01. You can find me on Twitch at Berserker01 and Twitter, Berserker01. Just about everywhere on the internet, Berserker01. And if I run a almost nightly podcast or Twitch stream called The Station, where we play space games, including Star Citizen.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys, let's get out of here. Hey, listen, everybody, we'll be back in about 5 minutes. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break, and thank you so much, Kate, for being here tonight, and have a good RPG.
Thank you, Kate.
Kill many grooves and kobolds.
Eyes off, everybody.
Yeah. We'll see you guys in about 5 minutes for Aftercast.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. We'll see you next time. And until then, remember, it's nice to be important, but more important to be nice. See ya.
Bye. Oh, hello. Or see you in a minute.